Hey everyone, it's Mitchell from howtocultivate.com, and let me show you how I grow my potatoes. We just harvested this fantastic amount from one of my 30-gallon bags right here, and so currently we are taking dirt from this 30-gallon bag into this new 30-gallon bag, which will be my new set of potatoes. These are the potatoes I'll be growing today. They've been sitting on my windowsill, and you can see they already have shoots coming out of them, and that's called chitting. Now you can cut the potato before you plant it, but I just prefer to plant them as whole potatoes. I think it's a little bit easier. And as well, we're going to plant them 10 inches from the top of the bag, and I will explain why. Okay, we just buried the potatoes in 4 inches of soil. Now we have 6 inches left. Now in a few weeks, when the potato plants start to grow, we will cover the rest of the 6 inches with soil, and it's called hilling, and it'll increase your potato yield. That's literally all there is to it. If you learned something, please subscribe.
I'm going to share with you a potato growing secret that will double your harvest. I have a couple bags of potatoes right here, and I'm going to take you through every step of the journey. The first step is to make sure you're at the right stage of growth with your potatoes. These are 10-gallon grow bags, and you can see that the potatoes have started to come up above the soil. Now it's time to let you in on the secret. As you can see, when I started growing these potatoes, I did not fill the grow bag all the way to the top. And that's because now when we fill them up, these stems will produce potatoes all the way up to the new soil level, which will be about even with the top of this bag. Now for the final step, I like to add some garden straw on top of these grow bags just to keep in the moisture and make it easier to care for. Potatoes don't need a lot of care, so this is a method I like to call set it and forget it. I hope you like this hack to give you bigger potato harvests and never have to buy potatoes from the store again. If you did, please subscribe.
It's time for a summer garden and winter update, and look at these potatoes. Beautiful. These are growing in 10-gallon grow bags that I bought off Amazon, and I've got 4 of them currently. Besides the potatoes, we have been very successful these last couple weeks. My favorite may have to be this large stalk of corn. It feels so cool to grow corn in the winter. Runner-up is this little tomato plant that is doing his best to grow in the winter. I've got multiple pots of chamomile, and it's surprisingly doing very well. There's nothing like making chamomile tea at home. And all the cold hardy plants are doing fantastic, starting with this cabbage, your classic lettuce. Garlic is looking amazing. Brussels sprouts, which you can see forming the flowers on the inside. And lastly, the red cabbage and the cauliflower, doing so well. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments, and we are so close to 1,000 subscribers if you could help us out. Would you like to increase your potato yield? Let me explain hilling. All hilling means is to essentially bury your potato plant in soil, and the stem here is able to start growing roots and grow more potatoes. So you'll have your yield here at the bottom where you first started, and then you're also going to get another yield up here with the added soil that you put on. So when we first planted these potato plants, we left about 6 inches of room here on the bag, and that's what we're going to be filling in today. Once your plants are about 6 to 8 inches long, they will be good to hill. And you can also hill multiple times as the potato plant grows, but personally I just do it once. I think it's most convenient. Alright, let's hill these potatoes. And there you have it. They've been hilled. The soil is at the top of the bag now. And when you're hilling, you are burying leaves, so don't think you're doing something wrong as you do so. And now we'll just give these potato plants a nice watering. This has been Mitchell from howtocultivate.com. Subscribe if you learned something. Pop quiz. Is this a happy potato plant or a sad potato plant? You have 3 seconds. If you said sad, you would be correct. I left this plant out during a bad frost, and as you can see, the leaves have withered away. I brought the plant into my greenhouse hoping the leaves would recover, but they are just slowly dying. So today we're going to be performing some surgery, and hopefully I can save this potato plant and still get a good yield. We're going to start by cutting off all these dead leaves. The leaves have been trimmed. Now we're going to cut off some of these stems that aren't looking so hot as well. Alright, surgery's complete. Thankfully, potato vines are pretty resilient in the fact that they can regrow lost leaves from the current vines. I'll do another update on these potatoes in a few weeks when hopefully all the leaves have regrown. Wish me the best of luck. Subscribe if you learned something.
Let's harvest some potatoes today. So here we've got the setup, a bucket with a nice large sieve on top to catch the potatoes, but let all of that soil fall through so I can use it again. Another important thing to know is when should you harvest your potatoes? Well, what you want to look for is this top growth. Once it starts to droop, which you can see this one is doing, or even die off like this one, that's when you know it's given all the energy it can to the potatoes and it's ready to harvest. And we're just going to pour this onto the sieve, work it through, and pull out any potatoes we see. All right, here's some of the potatoes that we harvested today. As you can tell, they're kind of small but beautiful, and I'm sure they're going to be wonderful and tasty. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you learned something, please subscribe.
Today, it's time to harvest my 30-gallon bag of potatoes. Now, these potatoes were doing great in the fall for a couple months, but a cold snap in November just killed them off. I put them in my greenhouse to try to rehabilitate them a little bit, but it never really came to fruition, so we're just going to harvest them today. I don't know if this is going to be a big fail or a big success, so we're going to discover together. To harvest potatoes, I just like to use gloves. I don't like to use any tool, or else you might accidentally cut into the potato. Alright folks, I'm going to be real with you. This was a fail. I have these two decent potatoes right here, but everything else is just these long and skinny potatoes. I think if it was able to grow another month or two, it would have been just fine. To learn from more of my mistakes, hit that subscribe button. Hey everyone, it's Mitchell from howtocultivate.com, and today, let's harvest some potatoes. This is my potato plant here. I put it in a 30-gallon container, so it's going to be very easy to get the potatoes out. I don't have to dig into the ground. You can see the vines are dying. They flowered a few weeks ago, and now all the flowers have dropped off. They're definitely ready to harvest. Step 1, let's cut off all the vines, and we'll compost the vines. Nothing goes to waste. All the vines are gone. Now we're going to start shoveling dirt from this container into the other container, and we'll pick up the potatoes as we see them. I'll see you when I'm done. Look at these potatoes. It's going great. Okay, this is absolutely ridiculous. Look at all these potatoes. I originally started with only 4 potatoes about this size, and it has multiplied. I will do a step-by-step video on how you can do this yourself. Subscribe if you learned something. So you grew your own potatoes and you properly cured them. Now how do you cook them? Stay tuned and find out. Step 1 is to wash off the dirt from the garden. Hopefully you didn't wash off the dirt prematurely because it actually helps the potatoes stop spoiling as quickly. And step 2, you guessed it, cut the potato. I like to do 1 cut long ways and then a couple cuts on the short way. And always be careful with knives, folks. Potatoes are looking good. We're going to give them a little bit of a rinse in the sink just to get some of the excess starch off, and that'll help them crisp up in the air fryer. Now we're going to give them a little bit of oil, salt, pepper, and any of your favorite seasonings. Now we're going to put them in the air fryer at 400 degrees for 20 minutes while shaking the basket halfway through. Delicious, crispy potatoes. Subscribe for more videos like this.